Hi guys, welcome back to my Canada's Drag Race review series, and we're here for the review of episode 4. But really quickly, before I even dive into the episode, first of all, I finally have got my hair cut. Oh my god, I can actually look at you guys and look kind of this way, because it's been okay from the side, getting it done at home, but this side has been like so long and a disaster, and like I finally am just like, oh my god. So first time since quarantine started. I mean, I've been getting it done at home, but not as like diligently, officially, like a salon would do kind of things. That I'm really so good, ready for the Drag Race finale, All Stars 5 finale, which I'm just gonna rattle through this because I'm about to watch it. I'm so excited. I just needed to get Canada out of the way. Seriously, I'm just so excited for the finale. Like, I'm not even like ready. Oh my god. Well, my outfit, hey, I just gotta do this, get out, ready, and do it. So yeah, I just wanted to speak briefly though about Priyanka and her dad, because obviously last week I said obviously about her coming out, all that sort of thing, and there was a few comments, and I was like, okay, first of all, I meant maybe it's like, I didn't mean any offense. Oh my gosh, like I didn't mean it to be like, oh, you gotta come out, it's so much better. Like, if people are in danger, like I totally appreciate that's like, it's not fun, it's not good, and I just think it's really sad, like when people are like disowned, that kind of thing. And obviously, if you know your situation, it is definitely a situation, sort of, but case by case kind of situation. You've got to sort of judge it, and like for me, I was just basically saying I felt so much better knowing that I'd come out. I couldn't be dealing with like covering things up or trying to, like, not that I was ever set up people, but if people try to set you up with a girl, I'm just like, I ain't got time for it. Like I say, you're literally just wasting everybody's time. But I've got the Facebook post up on here. Let me just read it briefly. Priyanka, she said the other day, so basically she's saying that she came out to her dad, and the mum was there saying, he's our child, no matter what, we're going to love and support you, which is fabulous, incredible. I didn't take offense to his silence. Everyone processes the news differently, whether that or not they knew or not, because often people know, but you never know until you know. But as a parent, you kind of, I imagine, I'm not a parent, but it's like you see things. And he treated Priyanka the same, like on her birthday, everything. He never sort of touched base on the sexuality, but everything seemed fine. And like she says, every parent handles this news differently, and sometimes we don't get a happy ending, and she feels lucky that it's like fine for her, and I totally appreciate that. It's shocking. Some parents will kick you out, some parents will say they always knew, some parents will sit there in silence. So it's like, it's just the situation. And if so, if your family doesn't accept you, you always have your chosen family, which is totally true, which is something that RuPaul promotes on the show, on the finale. Like, everyone say love, like we are like a chosen family kind of thing, and hello, like I'm like always gonna be here kind of thing. So anyway, that I just wanted to briefly touch on that because it was mentioned last week. So moving on to episode 4, starting with the when they all come back in the room, Scarlet starts to make up with Boa because they had their little sort of scrap last week, so they're kind of trying to make up everything. And then Rita Wagner sort of chimes in because they're all like Priyanka, and everyone's like, oh, you know, like it's great, like Toronto Queens are gonna win. Da, da, da. Rita Wagner's like, it's not all about Toronto, so it's getting a bit of like a little split here. It's very like, is Toronto the New York of like Canada's Drag Race? We're the best. Come on, did somebody mention art? Like, hey, New York, Toronto. There seems to be a few queens from Toronto, and it's like they're going to be the front runners, but actually they're like, they say they're not doing so well. So hey, Tynomi's a bit like, oh, Brooklyn said to like step her pussy up, and I'm like, yeah, she's been in the bottom twice, so what you doing, sis? And Tynomi's like, calm down, bitch. The judges can put me in the bottom any number of times, and I'm going to lip sync my way to the top. Now, I'm not speaking about the elimination this week already, but even if what didn't happen, I would have said this, because sis, y'all can't just assume that you're gonna just lip sync your way to the top. I mean, unless you're Cameron Michaels, she's one of the very few people who've actually survived 3 lip syncs. Maybe, I mean, she did 5 in the end because she also did the finale too, but I think, is that right? Unless she did 4, I can't remember. But it's not likely. I mean, Coco Montrese survived a few lip syncs. Heidi N Closet has obviously survived a few. But it's very, very unlikely. Raja D. O'Hara went home on her 3rd in season 11. It's very... I'm not saying it's expected that you go if you're in the bottom a 3rd time, but it's like you can't just expect to be shocking at all these challenges, design, makeup, Snatch Game, comedy, acting, everything, and then just be like, I'll be fine, I'm going lip sync. Like, they're not going to want a winner or a queen who's been mediocre the entire time to win. Like, I'm not being like, oh, mediocre, but like, if they say it come the sort of last 5 or 6 episodes, they're like, oh, if you haven't won a challenge yet, oh, you're in trouble. A bit like the Michelle Visage roast on season 9. Peppermint hadn't won a challenge, Pheromone hadn't won a challenge. What happens? Peppermint wins that challenge, Pheromone goes home that episode because it's like, oh, I mean, she did the worst, but it was very much like she hadn't won anyway, and it's like, oh, you're not looking the best right now, and it's very, I mean, it's similar with All Stars. I mean, hello, like Blair, I mean, I sent her home last week, but yeah, she literally was like, oh, you don't need to have won to like make it to the top. Well, you kind of do. Like, we've got a top 3 who've done amazing, and Blair hadn't won a single challenge and was in the top 4, so it's very much like she had a 0% chance of winning the whole thing, because it just, you can't just, the point is, you can't just expect to be like, I'm gonna lip sync my way. Yeah, cool, turn some amazing performances, I want to see it, but that's not the attitude or the approach to go into Drag Race, because even then the producers aren't going to want you to win just because you've like lip sync, you've been in the bottom a bazillion times. Like, it's not going to work, sis. So Stacey comes into the workroom and it's her turn to sort of do the introductory thing, and she's like, I forgot. I was like, oh my god, no, like, did Stacey forget, like, the words, Valentina? No, did she literally, like, I was like, what? But no, this is the showbiz sort of movement. She's like, oh, I know what'll remind me. Oh, pit crew. And in comes 2 sexy pit crew guys. And then she's like, it's coming, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming back to me. So, more pit crew. And then more pit crew. I think we get 10 in the end. I'm like, you can see where this is going. It's one of those underpants type mini challenges, which is super cute. So I'm like, okay, we're all thirsty. I mean, hey, if you're gonna judge and be like, well, we shouldn't be like misogynistic or whatever the word is and just like drooling over these guys and it's like in bad taste, well, they did it on the show, so I'm gonna do it right now. And half the viewers definitely do it anyway, because you got all the gay guys and all the straight girls, so it is very much appealing to the majority demographic of the viewers of the show. So I'm like, hey sis, I want to be looking at this, so I'm not sorry about it. So obviously it's a fun mini challenge. They undress and they have to match the underwear, and I was loving the silver underwear, shiny silver. I'm like, ooh, that's cute. But anyway, in terms of the pit crew guys, they're all so gorge. I mean, they gotta be. And once again, barefoot. It must be cold. I hope there's no splinters on the floor in that workroom. Anyway, yeah, seriously. So everyone has their own taste, but I know who my favorites are here, so I'm gonna tell yous. But also, let me know who are your favorites. Like, seriously, like it's important. I need to know who everybody likes. But also, they're all sexy, so there's no judgment or whatever. But my general personal favorites, who are they? Oh my god. So number 1, oh yeah. I mean, he's the tallest there, if you think about it. I don't think height really matters for me. I mean, I'm 6'1", so someone around my height would be perfect, who could like slow dance and lift me up. And anyway, so yeah, number 1, I mean, he's got like, I'm not always that into facial hair, but he looks good. He's got a good body, decent, well, really good legs, and nice hair and nice face. Like, oh, yeah, tall, dark, and handsome. Number 9. Oh yeah, oh my god, this close-up picture. He looks, I don't know, he's like, oh, he's quite pale. I'm quite pale. Pale and dark. His hair's like really dark. He looks pretty. I like him. And I also didn't fully notice during the episode until I rewatched it, because I'm sitting there looking below the waist. But number 6, he cute. He got that good everything. He's got that good posture. He's like, oh, the body. He definitely, I mean, they all definitely go to the gym, but he's very much like, he's got that stern face going on, and the short hair is like, oh, he good. And then I was looking and I was like, oh my god, yes, number 4 as well. Like, they're all, everyone 1 through 9, I mean 10, is it 10? Yeah, 1 through 10 are my favourites, but secretly it's 1, 4, 6, and 9. So let me know who you guys loved it. And Priyanka's like, sabotage dick, and I'm like, what? Which makes total sense. I'm like, oh yeah, we're kind of just like blinded by that. We're not going to get anywhere on this episode or this challenge because we're all too distracted. Stacey was distracted. I was distracted. Peppermint's distracted. We're all fucking distracted. So was Boa and Lemon. And Jimbo, oh my god, seriously. Okay, so Jimbo won the mini challenge, but Jimbo, for me, could have just like joined the lineup on the end and been like, hey y'all, trade. Like, oh my, oh. Sis, Jimbo, if it doesn't work out for you, go on to the pit crew. So the main challenge is they've got to work in teams to do a iconic fashion line made from different materials. There's 9 of them, so they split into 3, 3, and 3. There is plastic, metal, and paper. And I'm like, oh sis, I don't want to work with any of those materials. Metal sounds like rust, and it'll smell like metally, and it'll be like sharp, digging into you, hard to work with. Plastic, I always feel like, oh, that's gonna look a bit trashy. I mean, trash bags. I mean, Alaska makes it work, but who doesn't? I don't know. But it varies with plastic. And then paper, I'm like, okay, like get me some paper Mario. I don't know, like paper, does it always work? I can't think of any time we've done paper on Drag Race. We probably have. There's been a hell of a lot of challenges that I can't remember. Scarlet Boba's like, I don't want to do this challenge. I brought so much nice stuff with me for Drag Race, and I ain't gonna wear it. And I'm like, well sis, well, first of all, I totally appreciate it. I'm like, this is episode 4 and we've got another design challenge. I literally forgot we'd had episode 1's design challenge. So, hey, is this season 3? Like, I don't want to be doing design after design after design. I would be struggling. So, I do feel for them. But Scarlett's like, we got to make an outfit out of this crap. And I'm like, yes, it's called a design challenge. And I like I say, I get it. But yeah, for reals, like, I'm like, y'all signed up for Drag Race, did not know what you're getting into. You're not always going to be wearing your own amazing fashions on the runway. You got to do some designing. And if you can get past this challenge, then you probably won't have another design challenge, to be fair, which is lucky. But stop complaining. Don't complain about the challenge, sis. Like, y'all are on TV and doing this. So you got to do what you got to do and suck it up and wear some plastic. So Jimbo's like, okay, this is going to be good. I'm a theatre designer. Like, I can already imagine the concepts, because Jimbo's looks have been amazing thus far. So I'm like, okay. Scarlett's like, I'm just throwing crap on top of crap on top of crap, and I'm like, it's gonna be crap. And I'm like, that's gonna be me. I would just be like, I've never made a fucking thing and be like, well, not an outfit, like a dress, like, hey, like, could you imagine? Like, I'll just be like, yep, staple, this is gonna be good. I'm crap on crap on top of crap, literally Jocelyn Fox, literally just put it all on. So in a challenge like this, I'd be like, I'm glad I'm safe. Like, if I was safe, I want to be safe. Just safe all the way. It's better than being Tainomi and lip syncing all the way. I'd rather be safe. Well, I wouldn't want to be safe all the way because that's kind of Blair. But y'all know what I mean. In a specific challenge like this or Snatch Game, you want to be safe or above. So across the room, Alona and Tainomi are on the same team, and they're like clocking Scarlett like, what is she doing? Like, this is gonna be bad. And Scarlett's like, no bitch, you've been in the bottom twice. And I'm like, where's that button? If y'all can't dish it out, then yeah, at least Scarlett can be like, no bitch, what you chatting? Leave me the fuck alone. I thought I was friends with you, like Alona. She was like laughing at her, and I'm like, Tainomi, what you chatting? You ain't got a leg to stand on. You've been in the bottom twice. Zip your grill. So they go on to the runway to do a sort of walk-in sort of tutorial with Stacey. Very similar to, I suppose, Alyssa Edwards doing it on season 11, like, this is how you walk, and point, and I'm going this way, But she's doing, like, the model catwalking vibe, so I'm like, this is cute, and some of them took some notes from that with when they did the runway, which is good. But Jimbo, I was like, oh, she's doing, like, my walk, like, kimchi that step, like, I'm, like, the crip, like, it's like wearing heels is like something new for me, and I'm like, oh, I realize that I have my knees bent because I'm so tall. I'm like, oh, it's like, it's weird. And I think maybe Jimbo's done the same sort of thing. But some of them were good. Like Lemon was like serving it, and Kiara, I was like impressed. I mean, just in general, I mean, it's I'm not being like, oh, it's just walking, but it's good that you can do it and get the posture and arch your back, and I don't know, but it was fun to watch because I love that kind of like model catwalk vibe, and then adding it as an element on Drag Race is just like, ah. So now it is Elimination Day. They all come in and they're working on their outfits, and Scarlet Boba was like, oh my god, plastic is so cold, like I can't deal, like it's so, and then they're like, girl, try metal. And I'm like, fair. Literally, you've got paper, plastic, and metal. Which would you guys rather do? Let me know, seriously, because I feel like plastic could be a bit more cute couture, like work around, like you can staple some things, whereas paper, you've got the risk of paper cuts and it looking too crafts and homemade and cheap. And metal, I genuinely would not even want to try. I don't want to go anywhere near that metal. We get a little bit of backstory. Alona's talking about being the only gay in school. She's the only gay in the village. That was a really not even an accent. Until grade 12, someone else came out or was like gay in the school, and then they like tried to out gay each other, and I'm like, okay, that's extra. Like, I don't think I experienced that. I mean, there was obviously a few people out, and a lot of our friendship group ended up being either gay or bisexual, and it's like, okay, cool work. People who come out in their own time. Don't force people to come out, and don't be like, y'all know who you are. But I wouldn't have been like, okay, well, that person's come out now. I've got to be the extra of the extraness. Like, I mean, this is me now. I wasn't like as confident as I am now back then, obviously. But I would never have been like, okay, well, you got the good shoes, well, I'm gonna get the better shoes. And then they started going. There was a picture of her in drag with like a wig on or something. So I'm like, I don't know if they went to school in drag, but I'm like, okay, this is like literally the Olympics of trying to out gay each other at school. I live, work, do what you gotta do. So we get on to the runway, and obviously, as usual, we have the three judges doing some incredible looks. Brooklyn's sort of acid urine wash green hair is interesting. I don't dislike it. It's cute, and it obviously goes with the sort of leopard printy black outfit going on. It's sort of a standout colour. She's got like the purple black lip going on. It's a cute look. Not one of her best, but it is still good. Jeffrey is looking much better. I'm not saying much better, but like cuter than last week's outfit. I wasn't too living. I like a cute like patterned blazer jacket, and he's got like the dark eyeshadow going on. So I'm like, okay, work. Like this is giving me like club, like working in the bar, like scene vibe. I like it. Stacey looking good in Fashion One as always. And then the guest host was Bedell. I was like, okay, well, obviously I don't know who this person is. I was like, why is it coming out in this like boiler suit vibe? I'm like, no sis. But then it's like reveal into this like sparkly, cute like jacket suit vibe going on. So I'm like, okay, cool, work, I live. I was a bit confused for a second. Hey, come out in a boiler suit if you want in the workroom. On the runway, but I'm like, I was a bit confused. I was a bit like, ooh, sis. So the first team that comes out is La Maison Boraga. I think that's pronounced correctly. I don't know. They come out individually, but then as a team to show their collection. And the point is that it needs to be a cohesive look. That they're individual looks, but a cohesive collection that you can tell is from the same sort of vibe. So Scarlet Boba comes out, and it's very much like, this is like, I don't know, burnt flames vibe. It's obviously all plastic, which is incredible. I do like the little scraggly like bits going on here. She's spray painted some things. It's very just like ratchety, like nothing's sort of like, it's not like meticulous or like clean and everything. It's just like, it's very Scarlet Boba's sort of aesthetic, which works for her. She's got the legs on show, which is lovely. And it's a cute look. And if we continue on to Kiara, you can see that this sort of merges in with the fashion line. Kiara's given like fashion model walk and pose, and oh, it's all the way down. I mean, that is so good. She's done a really good job on the eye makeup and everything as well. Just the whole thing isn't like the best of the best of the best, but it is really nice and cohesively working with Scarlett's look. Obviously then we get onto Rita Wagner's look as well, but obviously Kiara, I mean, I just thought it was super cute. Like, she done good. Rita Wagner's look obviously is the sort of the same thing with Scarlett. You've got like the sort of square ruffly, I don't know what that stuff's called. It's like almost like a plastic version of chicken wire. I can't really describe it. It's the sort of thing you'd see at like box material or IKEA or I don't know, something. But it's on her face. It's like, ooh, caged in with the yellow makeup. It looks good. I didn't even realise she had a corset on with the same stuff almost like force like faded into it. It's super cool. And obviously if we get the collection together, La Maison Boraga, which was a mixture of their names, Scarlet Boba, Rita Wagner, Boraga, Maison, Kiara. I don't know, it worked somehow. But it was like this whole like flame, ratchety trash, like dumpster, like almost like there's been a fire and this is what's the remainder of, you know. So I thought it was cool. I was like, wow, they turned it out, and you can absolutely tell it's part of the same collection. Next up, the team House of Rust, which obviously works because they're made from metal. First up, we got Boa, and she came out, and I was like, oh my god, like, yes, the little strainer booby things come out. Like, I played with those at IKEA. You just pick them up, and it's like, deet, deet, deet. It's so cute. For some reason, she's wearing a diaper, but thought it would work. I think the judges clocked that and were like, it's okay. I feel like the bottom half is good. Half the time with her looks, one half's good and the other half's a bit meh. So I do agree with the judges when it comes to like her look. There, it could have been so much more elevated. The top half is kind of basic. Um, it's cool that it's made out of metal though, like and it's all like silver vibe. But moving on to Priyanka, I was the same as Stacey and Brooklyn. I was like, what? This is like, especially compared to like what we've just seen with Boa, it's like, this is metal. She made this and it fits and looks so cool and her legs are just incredible. But then she's got this like umbrella and it's like acid rain. Oh, I love it. Seriously, she looked incredible. And on the judges' critique, she was like, what is going to be bad? And then they were like, we lived. And she was like, really? And I'm like, yeah, girl, it is incredible. So, like, it's not the best, like I keep saying. But I was definitely like, wow, that is good. You stood out compared to like the rest of your team as well. Speaking of which, we then have Lemon coming out. And I feel like it's so smart that this has been made out of metal, whatever it's been made from. First of all, I said it on my Snapchat, it's very much reminding me of Bagger Chips' Brillo pad look. This is much better. I'm sorry, Bagger, but hey, because hers was very much like just a little bit, this is flowy and whatever, and she got like the long hair going on. I feel like the hair just doesn't, the line doesn't work with her for the face. Like it's, I don't know, it's something's missing. She even seems a bit smaller, shorter than normal. I think the hair's a bit flat. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, because it wasn't so elevated for me. It's smart and clever for what it is, but the main problem with it is House of Rust. This is a collection. The first two kind of look like they go together, and like the judges said, if they had just sort of a bit of bronze to sort of like accessories, and then Lemon had a bit of silver, it would sort of put it more cohesively together as a collection. So it's a shame, but yeah, Priyanka's literally the standout for that team. On to the final team, Maison Papier. Ooh, it's like a paper castle with the queen and the knights and the this and the that. So Alona comes out and I'm like, okay, it's cute, it's smart and cool that this is made out of paper. I was actually liking this almost more than her look from last week, because everyone was living for it and I'm like, ugh. But this was cute and I do like the colour scheme actually. It's better than blue. At least she's wearing something, it's like a pastel pink with a bit of purple, silver, So the theme is obviously Jimbo's the queen and then the knights, and she's given knight. It kind of works for me. Similarly, Tainomi comes out and I do think Tainomi's was better than Alona's. She's like, got sword and she's like, I just love the hair and makeup and the colour, very like blue, yellow, gold vibe. I think almost the colours don't match so cohesively. They kind of do, because Jimbo's got a bit of gold and pink, but not specifically. So Tainomi's was better and almost like better fitted as well. I do feel like it's a shame because it's paper. It's literally the shoulders and the little scruffly things with the neck brace almost make it look cheap because it's paper. I don't know. What are you going to do with paper? Like, what could you do? Oh, wait. This is what you could do. What Jimbo did. The ruffles, the flowers. That is so much better. It's like, you can tell these two are made out of paper. Jimbo's, no. This is like, what is that? Like, wow. I was gagged as per, like, I don't know how she's doing it every week. Like literally, I mean the hilarity of this in the workroom was like, okay, we should do this and have like me as the queen and you guys are the. I was like, okay, come on, BBC Horror Bernade's backup dancers. Like no, everyone in the world is just my backup dancers. So it worked really well for Jimbo. I was like, smart, well done. She got the crown. It's cute. I'm not entirely certain about the gold spiky bit here. The judges said it kind of, you lose your shape with it, and I'm like, fair, but it's still cool, but I just didn't fully get it. The only thing with it is like that gold sort of works with Tainomi's gold and the pink with Alona, but they seem to have a problem with her face, and I'm like, okay, I was like she said, it was very much like let them be cake. I was getting that, but I also understand why if she had the white eyes and the hair and the makeup, it's almost like, are you the undead? Are you the zombie? So I was like, okay, I yeah, maybe it was a bit overkill with the sort of top half. Maybe she didn't need to have the white sort of lenses going on. I don't know. Either way, it was an incredible look and one of my favourites of the week. But in the end, Team Plastic wins. I'm like, yeah, it was the most cohesive put together. I mean, Metal was never going to win because Lemon stood out too differently. And the other team, the paper one, Jimbo was incredible. The other two were literally the knights and the backup dancers. So I feel like, yeah, it was all paper and it had a cool story. But as a collection, if you saw it out on like the runway, the model scene, it would be like, this is a collection and it's made out of plastic. So like, it's freaking incredible. Yeah, seriously. So well done for them. And Rita Wagner, oh, she actually won. It was only one winner. So Rita Wagner won out of the three. And I do understand, and I would have given it to Rita as well, because that was the best of the three looks. I just love that it was like a cage over her face. So cool, so creative. And well done Rita Wagner for winning her second challenge. Oh my god. It's weird because I've been kind of thinking like, yeah, she won the first episode, but I'm like, she's kind of flying middle of the road, under the radar. We're not seeing too much of her personality until the start of this week, where she was like, it's not all about Toronto. So I get it, but I'm like, wow, she done good. Like, I feel like she, not necessarily maybe top three, but she could be up there. I thought that from week one when she came out. I was like, wow, but she just seems a bit more reserved personality wise. Okay, so Jimbo with the white face and everything, they were like, oh, your arms is literally like your skin tone, like, so it's taking me out of the illusion. And I'm like, I get it, but Jimbo was like kind of trying to be like, oh, this is my excuse, we only have a limited time to do everything. And I do get that, seriously. Like, she literally made all these paper crease flowers and stuff and then painted her face. But hey, if Alaska can paint her whole fucking body blue, and if Alexis Michelle can not paint her feet green, sis, yeah, it was kind of a bit like, oh, this is getting juicy. Like, Jeffrey was like, well, everybody is allotted the same amount of time, so do better time management. And I'm like, I was living for that, seriously. I love when the judges clap back and it's just like getting all a bit sassy in here. So we go backstage and it's so like negative. Like the winning team are just like, yay, it's cute little Kiki. And then in comes the rest of the girls. I think it was specifically Alona because she was kicking off. Seriously. Jimbo's like, it's cold. I feel like I don't know if she meant like, it is cold in here, because apparently it was filmed sort of winter, December time. And oh yeah, I mentioned that last week about the flannel. Are you kidding me? The flannel. Everyone was like, oh, they're wearing flannel because it's kind of a Canadian thing, but also it's filmed in the winter, so it's cold, so they're all layering up. I'm like, okay, work. So Jimbo was like, I don't know if it was like cold as in like the personality, the you cut through the tension with a knife kind of vibe, which was true, or if it was like actually cold. But Alona was like, why are you complaining about it being cold? Like, I'm in the bottom, I'm struggling here, I'm scared here, but I spent so much time and money coming here and going out to Drag Race, and I'm not doing as well as I thought I would do. I'm like, okay, take a seat, have several seats, have all the seats, go to a cinema and sit on all of the rows, please, because I need y'all to sit down. You're literally here on episode 4. 3 of the queens have gone before you. So how do you think they feel? How do you think Gothy Kendall feels? James Mansfield, fucking, I don't even know, Pork Chop. Like, everybody, somebody goes first. Somebody doesn't get to fulfill the dream of all the outfits that they brought. And if you think about it, a finale, a top 3 or a top 4, they have the final runway, and everyone prepares for Drag Race. Like, I'm gonna wear this as my final runway. It's gonna be amazing. If they go home, they don't get to wear it. So, sit your ass, pick a seat, and sit on all of them. So I was a bit like, I mean, this is some juicy, untucked, like, drama I'm living. Hey, like, but I was like, oh. It was a bit like, don't be throwing your toy. And then she started again. They tried to like resolve it, and I was, but then she was funny, and she kind of like broke the ice and the tension. It was like, okay, cool. But I was just like, okay, sis, I need to speak on this. They were like, welcome to the Alona show, and I'm like, the what now? Like the Safe Zone show? I don't even know. Hey. So the bottom 2 is Alona and Tainomi, and I did think, I was like, please don't put Jimbo in the bottom. Like, Alona definitely had to be there, but I kind of thought Boa might have been there, but it was, in the end, Tainomi, and I was like, oh shit, she's in the bottom the 3rd time. Is she going to turn it out? She even said at the start, oh, I'm going to turn it out every lip sync and stay. So the lip sync song is Avril Lavigne, Girlfriend, and I'm like, okay, work, I know the song, it's not like my kind of vibe or whatever, but it was really cute and fun, like dancey kind of lip sync. Alona was doing good, Tainomi was doing good. I thought, this is good. And I was like, Avril Lavigne, like something was kind of registering to me, but I was like, is she Canadian? Every lip sync, I mean, we had Deborah Cox, we had Carly Slae Jepsen, so I'm like, oh, so I've googled it, and Avril Lavigne is French Canadian, so I'm like, okay, cool, roots, there we go. So it works and it makes sense. So I'm wondering if they're gonna have a Canadian song every lip sync, which would be interesting, but cute lip sync, and in the end, Alona stayed and Tainomi went, and I'm like, oh, okay, like it could have gone either way for me, but at the same time, Tainomi was talking the talk, and 3 times in the bottom, 3 weeks in a row, it's like, oh, so she ended up going, and like I said, you don't often manage to stay and do the 3rd lip sync, so hey, that's just what happened. So it was a decent episode. I enjoyed it as like something different. We need that, I think, on another Drag Race season, because we've never really seen a collection. I thought it was really good, creative, and a good design challenge that they can sort of work together as a team, but then have their own individual looks. I thought it was really cool and creative, but as an episode, I really enjoyed it. But that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. I'm sorry, but I'm just so excited. I need to go get changed and watch the All Stars 5 finale. I'm so freaking excited. I originally had planned to upload All Stars and then this for the finale, but it's just easier to do it this way, so I'm like freaking nervous right now. Oh my god. So stay tuned for the finale. I'm so excited, and my outfit, oh my god. And next week, oh my god, next week is the Snatch Game. I'm so excited, so stay tuned for that video. Y'all won't be disappointed. But yeah, seriously, I need to go get changed, so let me know all your thoughts and everything, and I will see you very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye guys. I'm so freaking nervous. Oh my god. Literally. Finale. Oh.
And here is Maison Barraga.
Yes, so here we go. Here's the full collection. Plastique.
Like, we gave you a full head to toe collection.
Oh yeah, because Kiara's face. That is the collection. That literally works.
Priyanka.
Are you kidding me? Like, she's amazing, but this is such a good look. We've got a fucking umbrella. It's like dangly, and it works. I mean, I'm not even like looking at the rest of the outfit. Let's have a look. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we've got strip, bish. Love the hair, love the face, love the. She's so cool. I love her. Oh my god, she's a princess. No, all of the yeses and nos and.
I am using the tips that Stacey gave me.
I don't want to not look. Oh my god, she got the crown, the colours. This is made out of paper. Oh my god. Yes, meh, comparatively. Sorry, Alani. Yeah, you're just the knights. Here comes the queen. The queen of the party. I am the queen of the party. She looks so good. That was decent. High energy. I loved it. Like, stop bleeping the swears, man. It's not gonna be double save though. Could you imagine? Oh yes, they're doing the little cards with the little who. I don't even know what the deal is. Are they voting?
Ladies,
who's it gonna be?
We've made our decision.
I feel like they could save Tainomi a 3rd time. You know.
Ilona Verley. Shantae, you stay.
Oh, she's so happy. Well done, sis. Like, oh. Hey, like, oh. I mean, they both did good. I thought, hey. But I think 3 times in the bottom is a bit like.
Tainomi Banks.
She done.
You have paved the way for so many in this
They said she's
community.
such like a.
And while this may be a speed bump, honey, the road ahead is wide open. Sashay away.
God. Oh shit, she's crying in the background. Tainomi, hey, like, I'm sad to see her go. From week 1, I thought, wow, she's going to be amazing fashion, whatever, but most of the look she's done hasn't been so good. It was decent, and she did 3 good lip syncs, like, she just didn't quite do what I thought she was going to do, so and she's, like, paved the way a lot of the, like, for the kind of Canadian queens, and she's, like, known as, like, the girl, and it's like, wow, I'm gagged that she hasn't done well, but hey, it happens. So, she could come back sometime. We shall see. I feel like this is like a good moment to bring back hashtag manspreading from early on in the series, especially with Untucked. I'm like, so yeah.
I'm wearing this outfit that doctors used to wear in the 13th century. And then it tears away into, like, death herself.
Oh, so she's doing our reveal.
Yeah, she did that. It was so good. It was fucking... It was so amazing. I loved it. Oh my god. Literally, like, her two looks. The black and white. I was not about it. Hey, sis, bro. It was good.